guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video we're going to take a look at the song called Love Struck Baby by Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. This was kindly requested and supported by Max, a long-time supporter, so huge thanks goes out to him for the support. In this lesson we're going to take a look at all of the parts of the song, including the intro, the rhythm guitar, the solo and the outro. The song of itself is not too complicated. We have a typical kind of a la Chuck Berry type of rhythm, rock and roll type of rhythm going on. The solo might be a little bit challenging because we don't have, it's more of a chordal work and also double stops, but it's all about the rhythm. And the challenge might come in because of the quite fast speed of the tempo that the song is played. Other than that, it's nothing too complicated. The tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com or on my Patreon page. All of the links are going to be in the description box down below. Now, the backing track is not my own. I just found it and included it as a package, as a bonus to the tabs. So if you're interested, check out the links in the description box down below. I'm also going to post a cover sort of playthrough of the entire song onto my other channel, and the link is also going to be in the description box down below. We're going to be in half step down, tuning on all the strings, and for the sound I was using again the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now. While you are checking it out, I'm going to play you my low E string, E flat, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so as always we're going to break up the song into parts. We're going to start off with the intro, then we'll break down the rhythm guitar part real quick, and then we'll move on to the solo. So we're going to start off with the intro, so it goes like this. Okay, so what we have here, we start off with some double stops. So first we go to the 12th fret on the high E and the B strings, and now here we have it's 7 double stops, starting off on the off beat. So it's basically starts on the 3 and, so 1 and 2 and 3, and then you start playing the double stop, the first 3 double stops. So it's played with an upstroke, but you can play it alternate picking or downstrokes, whatever works for you, because it's quite fast. But anyway, so it starts off with 7 of these double stops on the 12th fret, and then in the end we have this double stop, which is on the B14 high E15 fret with a slight bend, and you cut it off, so it's like that. Then we have a little pause, move down 2 frets to the 10th fret. We have the same kind of idea, but here we play 4 of the first double stops here, and then again we have the double stop with 12 on B and 13 on the high E with a slight bend. Again we have the rest, then we have another double stop. Now we go to the 5th fret, little rest, and then we have this triad, which is an A7 triad, A flat 7 actually, because of the of the tuning. So it's an A flat 7 triad, and first again we have just playing it once, kind of short staccato way. We have rests in between, and then we play 5 of these more of the triad, and then we have, so here we have again back to the 5th fret double stop to the open strings, kind of like passing notes. And then we finish off with the E7 chord, and we include also the low E string open, and then playing the chord like that. So slowly the whole intro is gonna go like this. So again, we start off on the 3 and, so it goes 1 and 2 and 3, like that. All right, so one more time, the whole thing without stopping is gonna go like this. Okay, so throughout the entire song you're gonna find a lot of open strings played, and they're played kind of like, you know, stops between the chords, between the double stops. When we get into the solo, I'll explain it more in detail there. But just keep in mind that it's very kind of loose, and because the right hand is always going, you know, it's a quite fast song, moderately fast, and it's like a rock and roll in the style of Chuck Berry. So it's always, the right hand is always going, and you know, if you hit some open strings, and Stevie is actually playing those open strings because when you're changing the positions for the left hand, playing between the chords and stuff like that, but also he was using them as the passing notes. You know, when you're opening up and playing usually with an upstroke. So you'll find a lot of these open strings in the song. So just keep that in mind. They're kind of like a passing notes, and also, you know, some little kind of stops fitting together with the rhythm guitar part. Anyway, so now we're gonna break up the rhythm part here. So it's basically like a 12-bar blues. I mean, using, you know, the 1, 4, and 5, but slightly different. So it's not like a 12-bar blues where you have a certain progression, but it's kind of going between 1, 4, 1, 4, and then you include the 5th. So we're basically in the key of A or A flat because of the tuning, and we have this typical kind of rock and roll blues rhythm going on, where we have right? So what we have is a power chord alternating with the 6th interval here, but also including the 7th, the -7. So it's kind of inaudible at times, or at least you can't see when you're playing, but it's a part of the chord. So if you hit that note right here, that's the 7th. So instead of playing it here, you know, you're just playing it as part of the chord. And all right, so when you play this at a fast tempo and catching that string, that's the sound that you want to get. So it's basically going between the power chord and then adding the 6th interval here and also the flat 7. As far as the right hand going, you know, it's totally up to you. You can play it with all downstrokes. You know, if you're good with down picking, playing it fast, or you can go alternate picking. So it's totally up to you how you want to play it. So like I said, the structure wise, it's pretty straightforward. So when we get to the verse, we just play 4 bars of the A7. Then we go to the D7 for 2 bars. And also again, you have open strings there as passing notes, like I said, mentioned earlier. Then we go back to the A7 again for 2 bars. And then we have, now we go to the 5th chord, the E7, and here we're alternating the chord, the triad, or the whole chord, with an open low E string. And rhythmically, it's totally up to you how you want to play it. You know, you can hit the chord, let it ring out a little bit, but the right hand is always going, so you're gonna hit the low E string open anyway. So yeah, For this part we go to the E7 for 2 bars, back to A7. So here in the verse we play, in the first verse we play the A7 for 1 bar, and then we go to the next bar, so it's a 12th bar basically. We hit the whole chord, and then we change to the E7 halfway through of the bar. Okay, so it's like that, and then again you can hit the chord a couple of times. So that's the verse. So let me just play it through real slow. I'm gonna play it once so you can see and hear how the whole progression goes. So it goes like this. Alright, moving on to the pre-chorus. So for the pre-chorus we go to D7 here, so 4, chord number 4 in the key of A. We play on this chord for 2 bars with an open string step as passing notes, going to the A7 again for 2 bars. Then we are back to the D7 for another 2 bars. And then we have the E7, so we play on E7 for 2 bars. Then we're back to the D7 again for 2 bars, back to A7, again back to the D7 for 2 bars, and then we are going to the chord number 5, the E7 for 2 bars, and then we go to the next section, which is the chorus. So the chorus consists of 8 bars, and it's just between the A7 for 2 bars, D7 for 2 bars, back to A7 for 2 bars, and then we have the E7 for 2 bars, and the rhythm part is exactly the same. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the rhythm guitar part. After that we go into the guitar solo, so it's the next section which we're gonna break down in detail next. Alright, so the solo consists of a lot of kind of repetitive phrases, and this whole solo is based on more of a kind of like double stops and also parts of the chords or riffs, if you will. Some sections, some parts are consisting of repeating chordal work, not full chords, but part of chords. We'll get to that in a moment. And it's more of a, like a rhythmical kind of solo, not so much single notes, phrases. So we're gonna break up into little parts, and I'll explain in detail how it goes. So it starts off with so here starting off again with a double stop, this time on the 5th fret, high E and the B strings, and we play 7 of these double stops with an upstroke if you want to play as close to original as possible. But again, you can do it alternate picking, so down up, or down however you want to play. So we play, like I said, 7 of these double stops. Then we have passing notes. So here we're gonna have a lot of these passing notes and open strings. So just, if you listen carefully to the original solo, the main notes that you have to play are kind of, the double stops, the chords. The passing notes are there just to keep the rhythm going. So this solo is more of a rhythmical rhythmical solo, if you will, like I said earlier, not the single lines. So the open strings are there just to help you get through the rhythm. All right. So we have open strings, kind of A and D. You know, it doesn't really matter which strings you're gonna hit. Like I said, you just want to keep the rhythm going. So here we have these Triad that we play, the A flat 7 with a slide bend, and the whole, I mean, the next part is based on just that. So alternating the Triad with the open strings. And you know, the best way is just to listen carefully how it goes and then try to repeat that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna play these next couple of bars slowly so you can hear what's going on. So it's gonna go like this. Alright, so if I tied that with the previous bar, slowly it's gonna go like this. Alright, so here in the end we have, so what we do is we hit the Triad, and then second time we slightly bend the whole thing, and we do it twice. Okay? And don't worry if it sounds a little bit out of tune. You know, it's really hard to bend all the strings in a very, you know, accurate manner, and it doesn't really matter because it's just a, you know, just a slight bend here. And also when you put the speed to it together, you know, it's not even noticeable. All right, so that's these three bars. Then we move on to the next part of the solo, which is gonna go like this slowly. Okay, so here we have double stops on the 5th fret, high E and the B strings, alternating with some bends. And you want to include these bends with the double stops. So you're basically hitting, you know, like a unison bend. And if you catch the double stop on high E, that's totally fine. So it starts off with 2 double stops. Then we add the bend on the G string. And we do it twice. Then we have, so it's high E. So it's all based on, by the way, on the A minor pentatonic. So we're going to be using the notes of the A minor pentatonic as far as bending goes. So we have A fret here on the high E string. Then we alternate it with a double stop. Then on the B string, double stop. Then we have, so these double stop with the bend on the G string, then just the double stop, single note here, and another double stop or the Triad. Again, if you catch some other additional strings, that's totally fine. So these 2 bars, again, one more time, slowly are gonna go like this. Alright, moving on to the next part. This one is based on some bends again. Again, we start off with the open string, so let me just play through this next bar and then we're going to break it down. So it goes like this. Okay, so again, starting off with the open strings as passing notes. Then we have the double stop with the bend on the G string. You hang on to this bend just a hair longer, then we hit the double stop, and then you play the bend and you pick it again. Then you bring it down, and then we have, so going from this Triad, just adding to the major third here. So this is minor third, hammering onto the major third. Alright, one more time, the whole bar, slowly. Then we add the octaves here. So just remember that we're playing here a lot of like a chordal solo, if you will. So just a little things like that, but it's all based on the the A7 or A major, A minor chord, so just adding some hammer-ons and pull-offs and things like that. Alright, so we have adding the octave here, and then we have, so here we're adding this triad. So this is a very common movement, like that. So you play this, kind of like a part of the D chord, but we're still in A, and then we alternate the minor with the major third. So hammering on, picking that triad again, and then we have, so minor, triad, with the bend on the G string. So it's a little bit hard to explain and maybe a little bit confusing like that. The best way is just, you know, to listen and try to play it. So let me go back to the previous bar and just start from there, and I'll play it through up until this moment, and you'll see how it all it plays out. So it goes like this. Okay, one more time. And then as you bend it up, so after the bend, we hang on to this bend just a little bit longer. Then we pick the higher strings. Then you bring down the bend, and you go from these notes to this note, but also including the double stops. Then we have open strings as passing notes. Then we have bend just on a G string and hitting the double stop twice. And then we have, so here using double stops, going 8, 7, 5. Then we go to the next set of strings, which is the B and a G, to this double stop or triad, A note on the D string, back to the triad, like that. So going back 2 more bars, starting with the unisons bend there, slowly is going to go like this. And like I said, if you catch some other strings in there, that's totally fine, because like I said, you know, it's just playing a lot of double stops and also little triads like that. Alright, moving on to the next couple of bars, they're gonna go like this. Okay, so here starts off again, bend on a G string, alternating with the double stop, so we'll play it for 2 times. Then we have, so here, first time we play this note on a G string, and then again doing the from minor, hammering onto the major, and then we play the A note on the D, and then we kind of cycle it around. So again, so doing it 2 more times. In the end, we play the minor triad going to E7. So this is for the turnaround. All right. One more time, the whole thing. These 2 bars, 3 bars, are gonna go like this. Okay, moving on. So we hold on onto this triad, the E7, a little bit longer. Then we have hitting the already familiar to us triad, which we did in the beginning, which is the A flat 7. And now here, the next part again, we're going to be alternating that with the open strings. Just A, D, something like that, doesn't really matter. And also doing some little bends, like that. Alternatively, you can miss out these open strings and just concentrate on the rhythm, but if you know the rhythm really well, so it goes. But the open strings kind of help you stay in the rhythm, so you know, I suggest you use them as well. And you can do them sort of like muted strings or a little bit palm muted, something like that. Anyway, so this next part, again, I'm just going to play it through, then we're going to break it down. So it goes like this. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. So as you can see, it's just a alternation between the triad and the open strings in a particular rhythm. So again, just the best way is just to listen carefully and try to mimic. So let me do it again. I'm going to back up a little bit, start with the previous 3 bars, and then I'll get into this part and I'll play slowly and just try to get it inside your head, and also once you get it, try to play along. So it's going to go like this, slowly. Alright, so we stopped right here. We're going into the next part, and this is a transitioning part going from the A to D. But what we're going to be using here, we have the A, so this is A dominant 9/6 chord, or you can use just a part of it. So basically we are fretting the high E and the B strings on the same fret. In this instance it's the 12th fret, and D and the G strings also on the same fret, but they're on the 11th. So you get this chord. Alternatively, you can use also the A as the root note, like that. But you know, it's just easier to use just a part of this chord. So what we have here is basically we hit the chord. It's going to be on the off beat. So it's 4 and we hit the chord, alternated with an open low E string as the passing chord, and then we have, so we have a little chromatic build-up here. So we are starting with the A dominant 9/6 chord. We're going 1 fret down to the A flat, and then we're just going up chromatically up to the D dominant 9/6 chord. Okay, so that's the movement that we have. So slowly it's gonna go like this. Once you get to the D 9/6 chord position right here, we're gonna be doing again rhythmical figure here, alternating with the open lower strings. We're gonna have a little movements here, and like going from the C sharp to the D9, but we're gonna use it only once. So the rhythmical figure for the next 2 bars is gonna go like this slowly. Alright, so what we have is we're hitting the chord, then we play 3 times on the lower strings open. Then we have the little movement here from C sharp to D, alternating that with the open strings, then hitting the chord again. Then 2 times on the low E and A, the chord. Once open strings, 2 times the chord, open strings, and now we're going to change to A9, which is a different form of the chord. So anyway, let me just go back and play the whole progression here. This little part slowly is gonna go like this, starting with this part. So slowly it's gonna go like this. Okay, so in the end, like I said, we're switching to the A9 chord, which looks like this. So that's another common A9 shape form that Stevie was using. So here's the E, here's the A, looking like this. And again, we're playing just a little rhythmical figure. So it starts off again on the 4 end. Then we have open strings, open 2 times, and then we play the chord 4 more times. Open strings again, and then we hit the chord to slide out. Okay, so slowly the rhythmical figure is going to go like this, starting on the 4 end. So we're sliding out the whole chord, moving to the A first position here, pentatonic, and we have now another 2 bars using the double stops. So it's going to go like this on the off beat, starting off playing the double stop. So it goes. Okay, so after the slide out, we play 3 double stops. Then we have the bend on the G string, 3 more double stops, and then we have for the turnaround. So just like we did previously, using double stops again, 8, 7, 5 on the first and second strings. Then we have 8, 7, 5 on the second and third strings. A note here included with the double stop, and then here the double stop again, like that. One more time, the whole thing slowly. Moving on to the next couple of bars is gonna go like this. Okay, so here again we start off with the open strings as passing notes. Then we have the double stop with the unison bend, hanging on to the bend a little bit, and then we have, so hitting the double stop. You can do it with an upstroke, then include the bend again, and then picking the double stop, and then we have again this movement that we did previously. So these triad go into the minor, hammering on and adding an octave for the A note here. Then we have, so again playing this double stop or triad, and then we have another one of these, but we play with the grace note. So grace note meaning quick hammer on, like that, hanging on to this triad, then picking the double stop again, like that, and then we hit the triad one more time, just a minor, going to the E7. All right, so one more time, the whole these 2 bars are gonna go like this slowly. Okay, moving on to the next part. Again, we're going to be using here the A9 with this shape and alternating that with the open lower strings. So again, it's all about the rhythm here. Starts off after the E7, we play 2 times the open strings, and then we get to the chord, and now we get into the rhythm part again with the open strings. So I'm gonna just play it through. It has kind of a repetitive kind of motif there going on, so you'll catch it up real fast if you just listen carefully and try to play it. So I'm just gonna play it through slowly so you can see what's going on. So it goes like this, starting with the beginning. Alright, so as you can see, there is this pattern. It's really easy to get it once, really easy to play once you get it inside your head how it goes. So just alternating between the open strings and the chord. And in the end we're switching to the D9, just in the end there, again on the 4 end. And now we have the next part, which is using the D9, but also we have a little movement here with the C-sharp 9. So slowly, just this part is gonna go like this. So I'm gonna start off on the 4 ends, hitting the chord, and then alternating that with the open string. So it goes like this slowly. All right, one more time. All right, so this one is a little bit tricky, might take a little bit of time to get it under the fingers, but that's how it goes. Then we're switching back to the A9, and again we're using the A open string as passing note, so it goes like this. So pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated here. Sliding out. And then we go into the next part, again using some double stops, so gonna go like this. Okay, so the first 2 bars, again, we're using the double stop, alternating with the bend on the G string. Bending the G string, holding on to this bend a little bit longer, then we hit the double stop or the Triad 3 more times. And then we go for the turnaround, again we have... So we did that before. And then we have... Again, G string bend, alternating with the double stop, playing it twice, and then we have... Again, we did this before, so 7th fret, 5th fret, major, octave. Okay, in the end again playing the hammer-on, then just the minor triad, and then we go to the E7 for the turnaround. So that's pretty much it. One more time, just these last 4 or 5 bars are gonna go like this. And then after that we go into the pre-chorus. So that was it for the whole solo. Not too complicated. You know, it's all about the rhythm here and playing the correct chords at the right time. So now I'm gonna play the whole solo, all of the parts together, really slowly, so you can see and hear what's going on. And once you get it under your fingers, you can play along to try to play the whole solo, and then you work on the speed. Alright, so now the whole solo is gonna go like this. so right after the solo we go into the pre-chorus, and it's exactly the same as what we did earlier. So it's just between D7 for 2 bars, A7, 2 bars, D7, 2 bars, E7 for 2 bars. So exactly same rhythm. Then we go into the chorus, again same thing, A7 for 2 bars, D7, 2 bars, A7, 2 bars, E7, 2 bars, and then we have the outro. So let's break down the outro. It's very similar to the intro, but slightly different. Okay, so it's gonna go like this. Alright, so here we start off again with the double stop on the first and second strings on the 12th fret, but this time we play just 6 of them, and 7th time we have this double stop with a slide bend. Then we do the same but 2 frets down, and then we have so here double stop, go into the first position of the A minor, double stop, slide bends on the high E string, then again double stop, bend on the B string, double stop, the third bend on the G string, and bring it down, bend it up, bring it down, 5, 7 on the D string, slide out, and then we have just passing notes here, open strings, low E string, and we finish off with the A dominant 9/6 chord. Okay, so one more time slowly. And that's how we end the song. Alright guys, so that concludes our lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.